I'm Anusha Modwal. I welcome you all to the second edition of the IIITB Alumni Star Lecture Series. We would have started this auspicious occasion with lighting of the lamp. So I invite Mr. Madan Padaki, our chief guest, on the stage, and also Mr. Professor Das. Please come on the stage for lighting of the lamp.
एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय बालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि गानचतुराय गानप्राणाय गानान्तरात्मने गानोत्सुकाय गानमत्ताय गानोत्सुकमनसे गुरुपूजिताय गुरुदेवताय गुरुकुलस्थायिने गुरुविक्रमाय गुह्यप्रवराय गुरुवे गुणगुरुवे गुरुदैत्यगलक्षेत्रे गुरुधर्म सदाराध्याय गुरुपुत्र परित्रात्रे गुरुपाखण्ड खण्डकाय.
I now request Mr. Professor Das to please come on the stage and address the audience.
Very good morning, everyone, and my special thanks to Mr. Madan, and good friend of mine from a long time, and to my dear alumni. We are very close to my heart. Let me tell you one thing which you know very well. We are any mother or if our parents has multiple kids, and the only connection is the blood relation between the kids. That's called siblings. We call them in English siblings and all. Wherever they are, there may be many parts of the world, siblings have different bonding. Similarly, the academic institution is like a parent after our own home, next home. And all the students graduating out from it is like the siblings of that institute. Their bondage has multifacets. Nowadays in intensive placement, we don't struggle so much. 7 years back, we used to struggle, or 8 years back, we used to write a lot, mails and all. Nowadays, we write to our students, hey, whom to write, where to write. That's all. They take care. And our own alumni gives us the all link. They come back here. Nowadays, they're the other side of the table. Last 5 years, I can see that. So this is another example I gave. And the third wave, which is coming up, let me tell you, which will be much larger from now, is called entrepreneurship. So this third wave, when that will come up, and you can imagine if that they themselves can take all our students. Quickly, I'll tell two things. Those who are visiting our campus after a long time may not be knowing recent developments. So if you are visiting us after 3 years, our faculty strength has doubled. If you are visiting after 3 years, and so doubled, and our more and more focus has gone towards these recent recruitments or towards electronics, because for our new course curriculum strength is going on that direction. And point one. Point two is this, we have started integrated MTech 5 years course, which you might have seen on the website of our IIITB, and along with our MTech and IMTech, this and PhD MS is there. And backside of this campus, you can see 600-seater hostel is coming up. If you just walk down towards your canteen, you can see it's already third floor construction is going on. After that is done, we'll start the academic building where you used to take food. Huge labs, auditorium, everything will come up. So a lot of things we are growing in a positive note, and we need that you people stay together as alumni and as a student, work hard as you used to be, and I'm sure you'll do well. Thank you very much for coming, and I'm sure to take up. Thank you.
I now request Mr. Deepak, the Vice President of Alumni Association, to please enlighten us about the Alumni Association activities.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming back to the institute. 2 years I feel everybody feels that's the best period that has actually gone in the institute. Those friends, staying with those friends in the same building, can somebody get it back? And that's the reason that an initiative like Alumni Council of IIITB started sometime last year. These are a few initiatives that we have taken recently by the Alumni Council, and we are seeing that how can we bring back the community which has already passed out and bring them together to actually start blossoming that interest to actually come together. We started the Star Speaker series sometime early this year. Alumni mentoring programs have already started. Madan is leading that right from the upfront, and we are seeing that how can we improve the current student batches with variety of mock-ups and the other kind of guidance that we can give. Alumni meetups have also started. So Professor Das should know, so July 24 we had a first meetup at Whitefield where a lot of alumni for the very first time gathered for a dinner. Few of the upcoming events that is actually in the plan and will be announced very soon is one of the things is Alumni Reconnect. So we want to start this as an annual program. Okay. Alumni awards also, which people are actually doing exceptionally well in the various fields and all. We want to see them recognized out there. Family reunion is again one of the very critical components. As we see, everybody moves in their life and career. It's not about that one person, it remains. Until the family comes together, you cannot bring that one person inside. So that's where we want to bring the whole family out there. The Alumni Council is also getting legalized. Okay, so a lot of things are happening, and they are on due course of action within the council, and we see that in due course of time you'll see a lot of action happening there. Thank you.
I will now request Ms. Mansa to introduce our respected chief guest, Mr. Madan Padaki.
Thanks, Anusha. So, firstly, let's welcome Madan. Thanks for taking up the time to come over here, sir.
Oh, my pleasure.
So let me quickly introduce him. So, Madan Padaki, the co-founder, CEO, managing director of Head Held High Services, the co-founder and director of Sylvant Advisors, co-founder of Meditrack Services. Madan now serves as a co-founder, CEO and managing director of Head Held High Services. So today Madan is going to deliver the second version of the Star Lecture series. The topic is Social Inclusive Enterprise. He will tell us how to change the paradigm from having a soul-satisfying CSR programs to building profitable business. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. First of all, thank you for inviting me here. It's really a pleasure to be with all of you. Over the next hour, I just want to share two parts of the story. One is more an entrepreneurial journey, what I've done at Meditrack, and two, the journey that I've embarked on now with Herald High. Of course, I want to keep it as interactive as possible, so feel free to shoot questions, stop me anywhere. I worked for Wipro Fluid Power, you know, the other not so known part of Wipro, which is now called Wipro Infrastructure. I was selling hydraulic cylinders to the Japanese and Koreans for a couple of years. Interestingly, I opted out of campus placements because none of the companies that came to campus was what I was looking for, because I knew that, you know, like some of you saying, I want to do something on my own. I had that urge for a long time. And that was evident in a variety of other initiatives that I had taken up. I was looking for any organization that gave me an opportunity to do that. So essentially I was saying, you know, somebody has to give me a responsibility where you'll say, you achieve it, or you do that, I won't ask you anything. That's how BFL happened. Were called BFL earlier, now called Emphasis, before the merger. And BFL said that we're going to expand, we're looking for management guys to go open up offices anywhere in the world, are you ready? I said, I'm on. Right? 2 months later, they said, pack up your bags, go to Tokyo. I said, are you nuts? I thought you were going to send me to the US or something. Right? No, we have an opening in Japan, you dealt with Japanese customers earlier, go. So landed up in Tokyo in 99. Till 2000, mid I was there. I came back in May of 2000, and I was dumbstruck by the activity that every friend of mine, everybody that I met in Bangalore was either working on a business plan, was talking to VCs, was conceiving some idea or the other, or had got funded, right? And I was saying, man, I must be a nutcase because I don't have any of these. There's an article in Deccan Herald which says that NASSCOM has predicted that McKinsey had just released its first report saying the Indian IT industry in 2000 was less than 100,000 people. McKinsey predicted that by 2010, this industry will grow to 1 million people and so many $1 billion in revenue. I can still remember that feeling. I'm thinking, oh my God, this is what is happening. Because, as they say, you connect the dots, penny drops, and you're saying, okay, 1 million people have to get hired. Murli, my partner, was at home. I just blurted this whole thing out to him, saying, hey, here, this is the idea. And he said, listen, I've also been thinking about doing something. This looks like a great idea. And again, the alumni network, my classmate at SPG was a guy called Mohan Kanegal. We had worked on all projects together. Mohan happened to be in JP Nagar. We were meeting that afternoon. I told this idea to Mohan because one of the things we had agreed was that whatever we do, we'll kind of keep each other posted. And I told Mohan, this is the idea. He said, let's sit down and write a plan. We actually named the company as Assess Potential. Right? Of course, we dropped the name a few weeks later because people said bad name. Let's kind of create another one called Merit Track or whatever, right? So that's how it was formed. I still have the copy of the first business plan. Just as a indicator, a lot of people say, your first business plan is never the same as what it is. Probably true, because in Headlight, I'm on my 27th version of my business plan now. But in Merit Track, cut to 2010, we are 90% on target of what we had thought we will. Of course, it's 3 years delayed. One of the things we realized was this investment VC business is not going to work. Somebody told us there are these high net worth individuals who have excess money, go meet them. And the only way to reach these high net worth individuals was through chartered accountants. So we started going and meeting a whole lot of chartered accountants. One day we got a call saying, hey, there's somebody who's interested, why don't you come? I said, we went. This Royal Orchid, Central, whatever. And to our horror, so he said, we're ready to go with a pitch, wearing a suit and all that. There's one guy sitting in a vesti with a shirt. Turns out to be an agriculturist from Shimoga. Okay. We make the pitch. We didn't lose heart and all that. We made the pitch 1 hour. The guy it's afternoon, hot afternoon, and this guy is like looking at us almost drowsy. End of the hour, he says, excuse me. I said, okay, some question at least. He says, do you want coffee or tea? That's the only question he asked. This guy calls back a couple of days later, the CA, and says, he liked you guys, come meet him again. I said, what did he like? No, he liked you, don't worry. We go meet this guy, Ranganath. So we subsequently went through the whole negotiations, valuations and all that and agreed, and he agreed to put 1 crore for a 30% equity stake. So we started in 2001 investing, building the business. We grew well till terror struck on 9/11, 2001. Our burn of 2.5-3 lakhs, 50,000 was towards infrastructure, rental, phones, electricity, The rest of 2 lakhs was all salaries, not including ours. We were not taking any, we were taking only from 5,000 or 10,000 rupees for 15 people. So we said, what if we stopped salaries for 15 people? Then the 3 lakhs we have in the bank can last us for 6 months. We called them and did a heart-wrenching thing. We called them and said, you know what, we are in deep shit. Right? No money in the bank, we're running out of money. The only way we'll survive is if we stop your salaries from this moment onwards. So we said from this moment onwards, there's no salaries for anybody. Right? You have 2 choices. One, you trust us, you stay back. We'll pay you every paisa with interest and bonuses if we get out of this hole. If not, we just shut shop. Secondly, we said, you have all freedom to walk away. We will not hold you against it. We will hire you. You're the first person that we'll hire back when things look back. So it's a half an hour. Whoever wants to stay in the room. Who wants to leave, don't even talk to us. You can just step off. We come back after half an hour. Murli, Mohan and I step out. After half an hour, all 15 of them are in the room. And he was saying, it was a high point because he was saying, these guys trust us. In all of 2004, we were doubling revenues month, which means expenses are doubling, but our cycles were 3 months. That is when I met this guy called Ashish Gupta. Ashish is an investor in a company called Tawant in Kormagla. Tawant was a customer. So I happened to be in the cafeteria of Tawant. The HR head said, you know what, the guy sitting there, he's Ashish Gupta. I didn't know about Ashish that much. I quickly Googled and found that boss. I told him, introduce karwa there. So he took us there and introduced us, and Ashish spent 15 minutes. What's your business? What do you do? I said, very interesting. Why don't you meet me tomorrow at the Leela for 1 hour? I'm going back to the US. I'm here. So Murli and I, Mohan and I trooped to meet Ashish. That meeting for 1 hour lasted for 3 hours. He was going out that evening to US. I called him back desperately and said, Ashish, I want to speak to you. He said, kya hai? He said, we need help. I said, what help? He says, first we need you to join our board because you gave us some good advice. He says, I'm on. So 2007 end, again, chemistry worked. Meritrack got acquired by Manipal for a fairly decent valuation. And I continued as a CEO. We completed the complete acquisition in 2011. We had still a few shares that we were holding. So just a small snapshot, but what I want to share that with you is to bust a few myths, right? One, you don't need to know anything to be an entrepreneur. You just need to have a heart of steel and ability to take that shot. Two, with enough commitment and that ability to say, kuch jugaad karenge, we'll do something. If you believe in it, it'll happen. In 2007, when I was doing a lot of employability studies, my worldview was that some are employable, some are not, right? That's the way the world is. Till I chanced upon a crazy experiment being done by a few friends of mine, a guy called Rajesh Bhatt and Sunil Savara, whose objective as a social cause was how do you eradicate rural poverty. And one mantra to that was, you can eradicate rural poverty if you bring high-paying jobs to rural. When you look at rural, when I met them, I said, boss, rural, forget it. Because in my mind, the word rural denotes these images. I'm sure so does for a lot of you, of saying rural is all about poverty, buffaloes, agriculture, no technology, no power. For example, in these photos, you won't see a single electricity line. To my mind, it is all these images, which is probably largely true. And if you zoom in on one of these faces, you'll probably see somebody like this, right? If I were to ask you, what is this guy? You'll say, maybe does not even go to school, no skills, earns about 20 rupees or whatever a day, which is true. There's a guy called Ramesh. So we try to convince these guys, come to us to Bangalore. We'll teach you English, math, computer skills, We'll make you work in a BPO, but we don't know when. It's going to maybe take 1 year, 3 years, but the commitment you have is, you have to stay with us. You can't go back. Met a lot of guys. Finally, 8 people signed up. Rajesh and a few others. Rajesh almost quit his job, lived with these 8 guys, and we started creating a curriculum on the fly. Intense, 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, intense learning. All driven by the pure motivation that I got to change. Ramesh subsequently, 8th month onwards, started working, doing insurance claims processing from Koppal for HDFC Standard Life. And that's the learning which kind of said, this has to be scaled. So subsequently, we've gone ahead and therefore done a lot of work in rural Karnataka, rural Andhra Pradesh, and we've realized that rural is not the old rural anymore. There's a new rural that's emerging. So those are the equations we're trying to solve. That how do you create opportunities in rural by creating a talent pool that can be in the services space, and by creating a variety of rural opportunities in agri, financial inclusion, healthcare, etc., and unleash that power. So I'll just end here. So thank you so much. Glad to have been here.
Thank you, sir. I now request sir to please present a memento to our distinguished speaker.